Tinubu just wake up from sleep, say it's Emilokon, it's my turn to become president. On the day of his inauguration, he removed fuel subsidy without plans. Now he has plunged Nigerians into suffering, only for him now to leave the country for the UK. And from the UK, he has moved over to France for a better medical care. And Nigerians are the ones to keep suffering. He's enjoying taxpayers' money over there. After training the people into poverty, he's the one now enjoying the little that the people are striving to pay as taxes. So, guys, that is the country we found ourselves in.
Audrey,
Yeah.
when collectively
Yes.
we lack a sense of shame, that's what happens.
Yes.
Mr. Bayo Onanuga is responding by saying that the president can go to France on taxpayers' money.
That's the question.
Hobnobbing from London to France on holiday on taxpayers' money when the country needs his attention here. And he says, oh, he can do whatever he likes. He can rule from anywhere. The question is, we compare ourselves with foreign nations a lot. How many leaders do you see? Which day did you hear Joe Biden, because we like to compare ourselves with America a lot, leave America to go and do holiday in Nigeria? So we indulge these things on taxpayers' money. We continue, and the president says there's no biggie about it. And the next thing they say is that we should pray for the country. In fact, have we not prayed more than enough? We're saying action. It is about working and praying. I mean, and it has shown beyond reasonable doubt that these people don't rate Nigerians. They don't respect us at all, and all of that. And that's why they are feeding fat. In Nigeria, where people are suffering, somebody donated 1 billion. What work does she do? What is her tax returns?
Yeah.
I'm sure you're going to tell me, oh, she's been a senator before and everything and all of that. So maybe how much was the salary?
I think it was through her foundation, though.
So
maybe they were from donations.
So
What do you?
I mean, the full disclosure.
That's what we asked for last week.
And it's not today
Yeah.
that they've been making, such big an amount of money. But anyway, well, it might not even be from foundation, but she's told you they are rich enough, they don't need Nigerian money.
Yeah, I remember that.
But the only thing is that they need new Nigerian private jets, presidential jets, to be able to be flying them around at the expense of the suffering people.
All right.
And for good measure, what do? We immortalize them with glorious statues
speaking of that, Rufai.
So you see, it's a joke we run as a system. It's a joke. There's no level of accountability. We ask questions. It says, oh, you don't have a right to ask questions. But it can't continue this way.
Fantastic. Well, speaking of that, with regards to the Oni, I know you wanted to say something there, Dr. Bati, and our pastor here has not spoken. I mean, Tinubu urging Nigerians to stay prayerful.
So, guys, the question everybody has been asking is if Tinubu is even supposed to be outside the country at such a critical time like the one we are into. The country is going through a lot. People are going through a lot. There are so many ugly experiences Nigerians tend to experience on a daily note. And guess what? The president is said to have gone on leave. He was in the UK, and currently we heard he has left the UK for France. He's just cruising around the world while Nigerians are groaning.
Well, presidential spokesperson Bayo Onanuga has replied Nigerians who have criticized President Tinubu for traveling to the United Kingdom and now to France for his annual leave. On Friday, October 12th, the senior special assistant to the president on political and other matters, Ibrahim Masari, revealed that President Tinubu left the United Kingdom when he had gone for a 2-week vacation for France. The president was heavily criticized for traveling outside the shores of Nigeria to spend his leave. Onanuga wrote in a post on X, President Tinubu is on leave for 2 weeks. He's not restricted to the United Kingdom. It is his private time. He can go to anywhere he so desires. He's still observing his leave. Well, he is still observing his leave at the moment. I mean, I'd love to take a reaction, if you can pull up that reaction. So this is from Evelyn, who wrote, well, I don't think it's good to be on a leave when many of his countrymen are starving. This is the time to roll up the sleeves, not a time for leave. I would understand if it was a medical trip, but even at that, we have good hospitals here that can attend to our presidents. It is not good for our image that every time our president needs medical or other attention, he runs to Europe. I think that is the rhetoric online, Rufai. A lot of people have said that. And even here in the studio, we have talked about the fact that, even if it is medical leave, can we have him treat himself in Nigeria? But it's not medical leave. He's on leave while, pump price while pump price is high. And Nigerians, we took that story last week where the Minister of Health talked about how Tinubu was trying to justify, and Tinubu is trying to revamp our medical hospital. But let me tell you, in another development though, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has urged Nigerians and the Methodist Church in Nigeria to remain steadfast in prayers for their communities, the nation, and her leaders. Tinubu said that their prayers remained a source of strength and guidance. The president said this during the 40th anniversary celebration church service of the Abuja Archdiocese of the Methodist Church on Sunday. He was represented by the Federal Capital Territory Minister, Nyesom Wike. I hope Nyesom Wike did not quote Tinubu out of context, but during that donation that we took yesterday, where the First Lady donated 1 billion naira to the Obafemi Awolowo University. Well, the Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, has unveiled a golden statue of the First Lady of Nigeria, Oluremi Tinubu. Well, he did that during a grand ceremony at Obafemi Awolowo.
Okay, so let me just say first of all, and I'm going to say this very clearly. Yes. The president has let me start from first. The president has a right to go on leave, but I dare say that the president morally should not be on leave, particularly at a time when Nigerians are facing suffering, are facing such hardship. I say this because I don't know which private company where you're undergoing a crisis, and at that point, the CEO decides that that's the best time to go on leave. I understand his right to be able to go on leave, but I'm sorry to say that we just look at leadership as something very flippant. We don't hold our leaders to account in the way they should. No one is begrudging him his holiday, but the timing is not right. Then go on to saying that he can go anywhere he likes to go. We've already given him options here in Nigeria. So many beautiful places, especially as the chief ambassador, chief diplomat of the country, he can do that. And finally, that statue. No words. But just to say that I cannot understand, but it also speaks, and with due respect to the Ooni of Ife, who said, due to her contributions that she has made and all that. But I also feel that it also demonstrates just how clearly they are out of touch with their people. Mm-hmm. This is not what Nigerians need. What are the contributions to warrant spending the amount of money to erect a golden statue? So what has she done? How many professors, how many legends have come out of OAU? You're on fire.
It's like this.
Tell us.
The president is entitled to his vacation. He has gone from from London to France.
Yes.
You Nigerians, be grateful for little mercies. You are not in the same situation as the Cameroonians. Cameroon, their president for Biya stays abroad. He was cited last in Beijing in September. For 1 month, they have not seen him. And the people are asking, they said, in fact, anybody that discusses that problem again, that disappearance of their president will be guilty of a breach of national security.
Imagine.
We have not reached that stage in Nigeria. That's why I say, Elo for Kombale. The only thing I would say is that, the president has gone from London. I thought he should be in London. He should have been invited to the International Investment Summit taking place beginning today in London. But it's in France. Fine. But they call it working vacation. That working vacation, that emphasis on working. I've said it's an oxymoron. If you're on vacation, you say you are working. We would like when the president comes back, we would like to know the outcome of that work aspect of that vacation. What have we achieved? Have we brought any investment? Not to hear that we have been getting files, reading files. That is important.
Absolutely.
The other part of it is that the president, he has a vice president. And Vice President Shetima has been very active, even in the absence of the president. Regardless of the fact that nobody transmitted authority to him.
Fantastic.
After all, last week we discussed him talking on the occasion of the girl child anniversary and saying out-of-school children, they need to be taken care of. And he has had other activities.
All right.
So,
they shouldn't go on leave on this. Let me highlight another leader. This is leadership issue in Nigeria. We'll take the weekend. Social media was abuzz with reactions trailing a report by the U.S. Department of Justice indicating that the chairman of Air Peace Airlines, Dr. Alan Onyema, and the Chief of Finance and Administration, Ejiro Igaga, had been charged with alleged obstruction of justice. Air Peace, however, in a statement on Sunday, denied any wrongdoing by its chairman and Chief of Finance and Administration. The company reaffirmed the innocence of both executives, saying that they are confident that they will be exonerated, while emphasizing that the charges were mere allegations, with the case ongoing in court. The company also reiterated that Dr. Onyema and his legal representatives have consistently cooperated with relevant authorities throughout the legal process, while the statement reads in part: "These charges levied against our post holders are part of an extended legal process stemming from earlier accusations of financial misdeeds that date back several years. While the charges have been expanded, it is essential to emphasize that both Dr. Onyema and Ms. Igaga remain innocent, and these are mere allegations, and the case is still in court. Our legal team is fully engaged with the matter and is working tirelessly to ensure that justice prevails. We remain confident that through due process, the truth will be revealed, and our CEO and co-defendant will be exonerated." I mean, Dr. Abati, over the weekend, there was this media trial that was going on with the story that came out from the U.S. Department of Justice. Because it's a legal issue, I'd love to hand over the baton to you. Okay. I know that Dr. Onyema had stated in his previous response back in 2019 about these money laundering charges that he was innocent of the crime and that he didn't have anything to do with those charges.
Okay, let me piggyback on your point about media trial. Mm-hmm. Over the weekend, I felt a bit uncomfortable that the Nigerian media seems to have jumped to a conclusion. And this is what we do all the time. Nigerian journalists, they hear a story that is juicy, sensational, they jump on it without hearing the other side. And I think that Nigerian journalists should desist from this media witch hunting, of persons, particularly a person like Mr. Alan Onyema, who, in fact, during the Yar'Adua administration, was a major architect of the non-violent program leading to the amnesty program, training about 30,000 persons in the Niger Delta region and helping them, through the contract that he got from the federal government, to protect, save, secure the country. Mr. Alan Onyema, in another occasion, has also proved to be a major patriot, during the COVID crisis that we had in 2020, 2021, ferrying people from South Africa during COVID, from other parts of the world, and even when Nigerians had issues in South Africa. In other words, you will expect that the Nigerian media, these same journalists, who jump on sensational stories, will at least try to exercise a little caution. Now, let's go back to 2019. In 2019, Mr. Alan Onyema and Air Peace had made it very clear that, look, those allegations are not true, that he never intended to do any money laundering, and he was not involved in any money laundering, and that the money that they are talking about, was passed through even the banking system in the United States. So where is the fraud? Where is the money laundering? However, the latest development is that the 36 charges in 2019, they've added 2 charges to it in Georgia, and they say, okay, additional 2 charges relating to, according to them, Mr. Onyema and also Mrs. Ehaha, I think that's the name, Ehaha. I think it's an open name, a branch of the Urobo people in the Niger Delta. Yeah, right. Now, they now say that 2 charges have been added, coming to 38. I think that if you check it, well, this is a kind of misunderstanding, between two jurisdictions. Because the 5 aircraft that are at issue in this particular case, they are flying in Nigeria. They are here. They are operational. So I think that these are some of the issues that we need to look at, and Nigerians should not jump to conclusions. These are issues that the lawyers can, resolve. Eno Alege and co, Onyema's lawyers, they issued a statement once, if I recall, saying that, look, nobody lost any money in these transactions. Not the United States, not any individual party lost any money, and there is much ado about nothing. So there's more work, it may appear, between for Alege and co and across jurisdictions. But it's not a thing that the media will just say, oh, this is a juicy story. There was virtually almost no platform, that didn't carry that story. Where I don't think I saw it on Rice News, but all the stations, they were feeding on it. I say, can we also, protect our own? Because Allen Onyema is one of the shining lights that we have in this country, regardless, without prejudice, as they say in law, to whatever the Americans, they say they are pursuing.
Absolutely.
But let us be fair and look at both sides of the story. Audi Alteram pattern. They say, hear both sides of the story before you begin to jump to conclusions.
On the issue of the arrest warrant, I believe that had been debunked. I don't think that there were any issues for arrest warrants. But let me read the statement that was issued back in 2019. In his response to the first indictment 5 years ago, Allen Onyema had made it clear that he never laundered money or ever intended to do that. He wondered how funds from bank loans and proceeds from ticket sales could be bad money to be laundered. That was his statement back in 2019. Again, I would reiterate your point, Dr. Abati, which I think was quite excellent. We must avoid this media trial. They are, according to the Department of Justice, innocent until proven guilty in court. We'll take this story, though. The Commonwealth of Zion Assembly has sparked criticism on social media after sharing a video online showcasing the senior pastor of London's Kingsway International Christian Center, Matthew Ashim Wu, lavish arrival at its summit in Abuja. Let's take a look.
Their lavish display, and they're big on what they call honor. They say that in their defense that this is them honoring the man of God. Now, to the extent that this is in terms of the current situation of things and what the Bible enjoins Christianity to be, let all things be done in decency and in order, let your moderation be known to all men. I think that's where a lot of people will have challenges with these things. But let me just say that the sad thing about when you see things like this is that it takes away from the good work that some people are doing. And pastors who are in the trenches and suffering for the sake of the gospel, particularly at this time. There are many people who do a lot of good work, who do a lot of charity work. That should take precedence over this display of wealth. That's what I would say.
Dr. Mati, they've deleted the tweets, though.
Pastors are getting fat.
Yes.
Church members are losing weight and having kwashiorkor. This is the paradox of the Nigerian reality.
There's a song for that. Bishop na bileki,
Pope na enjoyment, Imam na baladu.
Too much cruise.
Pope na enjoyment.
Well, I think that was I think that was Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka saying, why are you people still eating pepper soup and chicken and then wasting money on Nigeria as well? All right. Well, all right.
I know.
Let's go. Let's go.
The man is good.
All the time. Well, all right. Before we end what's trending today, let's highlight 3 young Nigerians who have been awarded as Heroes of Nigeria. For their 3 young Nigerians were recognized over the weekend by the Indomie Heroes Award, a social responsibility initiative that seeks to encourage the acts of heroism in children who have made notable sacrifices at great risk to themselves and those who have strived to survive despite the unfavorable conditions they found themselves. The young Nigerians received the award in 3 categories: physical bravery, honoring children who have risked their own safety to save or protect others; social bravery, recognizing those who have addressed social issues or helped their communities in significant ways, and intellectual bravery, celebrating young individuals who have used creativity and innovation to solve problems despite limited resources. Kundushima Kanwa, a 15-year-old boy, was awarded with physical bravery after he displayed extraordinary bravery when his village was attacked by herdsmen as many fled to safety, while Mary Timbi, a 14-year-old girl who was forced into an unwanted marriage to a 60-year-old man despite her strong desire to continue her education, was awarded with social bravery. And finally, Ilyasu Khalifa Aminu, a talented 16-year-old boy who is fascinated with electronics, was awarded with intellectual bravery. He started with simple repairs by fixing lamps, sockets, extension wires, and radios in his community. His first breakthrough was the creation of a transmitter for a local FM radio station, which he proudly named Ilia Station. Well, let's listen to their journey.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for this, please. This was invented from scratch, from scraps, meaning that he looked around for resources around him and he did this all by himself, and this works. Ilyasu, congratulations again. You are a winner for our social bravery category. How does that feel?
I'm very excited.
Mary, what is your story?
She was in her community in Ukbam, and herdsmen attacked the community and killed her dad. So the mom ran away with her and her elder brother to the grandfather's place. So on getting to the grandfather's place, the grandfather said that he can't take care of her, so he's going to give her out in marriage. So she said that she doesn't want to go to, she doesn't want to get married. She wants to go to school. And then the father insisted, and they took her to give to the old man. They took her to the old man's place, and she stayed there for some time.
How old was this old man?
The man was close to 60 years. So, and then while she was there, she now saw opportunity. She ran away and came back home. So when she came back home, the grandfather said he was going to teach her a lesson, and then they beat her and tied her for 3 days. She didn't see food to eat. So because she had cuts on her body, she was there. So she managed to escape from the house. And because where they were staying was close to the IDP camp, she now ran into the camp. And then the people now asked her that what happened to her, that she had so much cuts on her body. And she explained everything to them. And she said she didn't have money to go to the hospital. That's why she's walking about, because she was just roaming about in the camp. And the nun told her that, okay, we had the Doctors Without Borders was treating people for free in the camp. And then they took her there to the Doctors Without Borders. And then Doctors Without Borders asked her what happened to her. And she said she hasn't eaten for 3 days, and she narrated her story to them. And they asked her that, okay, that they're going to refer her to a place where she can get food, and then they provide shelter for her. And so they wrote a note, and they called me, and I said, okay, fine. There was space in the shelter, and then they sent her over to the shelter. And after the documentation, she was not going back to Doctors Without Borders for treatment for her cut. So when she got back, she now discovered that the other girl, she ran away. In fact, she ran away for 3 days in the rice farm. So they all came back to that, they just found themselves in that camp. And so when she heard about their situation, that was how she now told them where they can get help. And then Doctors Without Borders now called me also, and they referred these girls to the shelter.
On a fateful day around 9 p.m., they were about to sleep, so he heard some noise outside. So when he discovered it was herdsmen that came to attack, he ran inside because he was staying in a room with 2 of his younger siblings. So he ran inside and assisted them to escape. So when he went and kept them far away from the house to hide inside the bush, he wanted to stay there, but he now discovered that 4 of his older siblings were staying in the older room, and his father and mother were not around. So he ran back to assist them too. So when he took those 2 out, and he went and hid them, on his way going, the herdsmen now saw him, and then they started running after him. So he was running until one of them caught him. So the first person that came, he started fighting with him, and he actually overpowered him. But at some point, 2 other persons came and joined, and that was when they started cutting him until he fell on the ground. So they started cutting him on the face, both by the right and the left hand side. Then one of them removed the matches and wanted to cut his forehead. That was when he used his left hand to block it. And that led to him to lose one of his left hand today. So at this point he was unconscious, and they left him there thinking he was dead. So he stayed there till around 4 to 5 a.m. when he regained some consciousness, and he struggled towards the house because he heard some noise. So he stayed at the grave of their grandmother and was crying. And then some people heard him and came for his assistance. So during the day, his father and mom came back and they took him to the hospital where he received treatment, and he's alive today.
And that's where Indomie comes in, by appreciating his bravery.
I mean, amazing, amazing story. I mean, kudos to those 3 young Nigerians. This is an amazing, amazing way to give back to the society. Kudos to Indomie for recognizing this young talent. I mean,
so guys, the question everybody has been asking is if Tinubu is even supposed to be outside the country at such a critical time like the one we are into. The country is going through a lot. People are going through a lot. There are so many ugly experiences Nigerians tend to experience on a daily note. And guess what? The president is said to have gone on leave. He was in the UK, and currently we heard he has left the UK for France. He's just cruising around the world while Nigerians are groaning. We've seen people who are barely feed themselves, people who barely takes care of their children, their families, and all that. We've seen prices of things skyrocketing. You talk of school fees, you talk of so many services in Nigeria that have really skyrocketed. I mean, the prices in terms of comparing them with what people used to pay for before now. And one keeps wondering, what kind of country do we have? Why is it that Nigeria has always gotten it wrong when it comes to leadership? Why is it that we don't have that favor of getting a patriotic person who will come in and will just be focused on getting Nigeria fixed? Tell me what this government has achieved. It's almost 2 years they've been in power. And guess what? Before you know it now, campaigns for the next election, the next presidential election will start taking place. And one keeps wondering, why is it that these people are not, they are not all about, giving Nigerians dividends of democracy? Why is it that these people don't care about the reactions of the people? Why is it that they do all these things and they get away with it? Because they know Nigerians are so docile when it comes to reactions. They know that the Nigerians will always allow them have their way, and they know that with the help of INEC, judiciary, police, and all the governmental bodies they use during election, their success is secured. And that is why they can just get into office, do things the way they want, and feel nobody will react, nobody will talk, nobody will question them, and they still have faith in them that come what may, they will still find themselves in those positions. So guys, these are some of the questions Nigerians are asking. Do we even have a leader? Do we even have a president? Do we have people who really care about the progress of this country? Look at Nigeria, a very unique country with people who are so talented, very wise, smart, and all that. But leadership, poor leadership, has led many Nigerians into criminality. There are people who never knew they would be into criminality today, looking at their antecedent, looking at their lifestyle 5 years ago. But today, their hands have been soiled because of bad company. They've ended up meeting the wrong people as a result of idleness, as a result of lack of employment, lack of keeping them busy. They end up meeting with the bad guys that will end up influencing them, and you see people living the kind of life they least expected they will find themselves into, and their parents will be wondering and wailing, how did he or she get to where he or she is? This is all because of poor leadership in this country. Nigerian leaders don't care about the people. They don't care about what people are going through. They don't care about the experiences of a typical Nigerian on a daily basis. All they feel is that let them just do whatever they will do to get into power. When they get there, they make their money. It's just all about making money. It's just all. Look at Buhari that just came out from nowhere and said he wants to become president. Now, Tinubu, according to him, said he was the one that went to tell Buhari, come, I will help you to win. So that after you, it will then be my turn. That was the agreement. They never knew that leadership is beyond thinking it is your turn. You know, leadership is beyond thinking it is your turn. Now, Tinubu is overwhelmed. And from, the speculations out there, he is not fine. He has gone for medical leave. He thought leadership is just all about walking out of your bedroom to announce to the world that it is your turn to become president. And now you have become president, you cannot even withstand the pressure of becoming being the president of Nigeria. The same thing under Buhari. Buhari was always going to the UK for medical treatment because he never knew that it is a hectic job. And when he got there, he became overwhelmed. And that is just what Nigerians are passing through again at the hands of Tinubu. He has gotten into power. Even if it's in Nigeria, you barely know that we have a leader. You barely hear of what he's doing. He's silent, and we've got to hear that it is those cabals around him that are handling the managerial part of his leadership, and he's just there as a ceremonial head. That is what Nigeria has got to go through. Check the 8 years of Buhari. Now, Tinubu is already into his 4 years, his 2 years is almost gone. What benefit have we gotten? We've gotten nothing. These are people that came in telling Nigerians that they are going to change the narrative. Buhari came in telling us he was going to fight corruption. He was going to fix his infrastructural challenges. He was going to do that. He was going to do this. At the end of the day, Buhari has left us with huge debt that we don't even know how to start paying. You ask on infrastructure, we can't see it. Ending insecurity, we can't see it. Ending poverty, we can't see it. The corruption he said he was coming to fight, the corruption fought him. I mean, the reverse was the case, because Nigeria is even more corrupt today than it was before Tinubu and Buhari ever ventured into becoming Nigeria's president. So, guys, you can see what is happening in this country, and Bayo Onanuga had the guts to tell Nigerians that Tinubu has the right to be wherever he wants to be. He took up this position of becoming president of Nigeria. Didn't he understand what he entails? That he's answerable to the people. Doesn't he know that the people have the right to question his whereabouts? That Bayo Onanuga is coming out to talk as if he didn't go to school. Anyway, it's just showing you the level of their illiteracy, even though they have certificates. So, guys, I don't know what you make of this. Honestly, Nigerians are not finding this kind of leadership, funny. At a time when people are crying, people are weeping, people are mourning because of the level of hardship this government has thrown Nigerians into. Tinubu just wake up from sleep, says Emilokon, it's my turn to become president. On the day of his inauguration, he removed fuel subsidy without plans. Now he has plunged Nigerians into suffering, only for him now to leave the country for the UK. And from the UK, he has moved over to France for a better medical care. And Nigerians are the ones to keep suffering. He's enjoying taxpayers' money over there. After training the people into poverty, he's the one now enjoying the little that the people are striving to pay as taxes. So, guys, that is the country we found ourselves in. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others, and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.